beeping like crazy. I'm a little bit worried, a little bit concerned it's beeping like crazy. Yeah, I got it back. It's a bit touch and go there for a moment. It started beeping like crazy out of nowhere. I don't know what that's all about. I got it back. So today is my first day back at home after my little Wellwood trip to Perth. And to be honest, I don't really have an exciting day. It's a bit of a catch-up day because there's only so much I could do remotely. I've got a lot of quotes to catch up on and a lot of phone calls to make and a lot of things. Really what I'm trying to say here is there's not going to be much vlogging today. Sitting at an office desk isn't the best thing to vlog. It's also extra busy today because tomorrow I leave for my trip. I'm away for just about 2 weeks. I need to make sure that I am completely up to date with everything that needs to be done by me, for my business, before I go away. Really, all I'm doing here is making excuses for not being able to shoot much at all today. But I also discovered why some of the shots that I was taking were really washed out and overexposed on my camera. I had a little dial turned. I don't really know what I'm doing with this camera yet. Bear with me. I'll look back on this myself in like 5 years time and be like, dude, what the hell were you thinking with that shot and that exposure and that auto white balance? I'm getting there, I'm learning. Bear with me, future Troy. And just like that, the day is over. Hey puppy dogs. Hello. Round the back. Go on, round the back. That never gets old. Has anyone noticed in any of the vlogs how much crap I have back in here? Every time I clean it, I think, you know, I don't really have that much stuff. The next day, it looks like this. Last time I didn't even clean. My mum was that sick of it. She cleaned it. She's gonna kill me tomorrow when she sees it. Oh, what a good day. I got so much work done today. I caught up on so much stuff. It was a really good day. Look what I arrived. Just in time before I go away. Huh? What do you reckon?
So now you're here again, knocking at my door. A little too late for, I'm sorry for. The lights went out cause you kept cutting the cord, and I started to fade into your gray. See, I finally opened up my eyes, and I saw me coming back to life.
Okay, I have to shoot this bit on my phone because I want to show you GorillaPod, GH4, and now a tripod. Yeah. So now all I have to do is undo that and yeah, look at that. See? How cool is this? Well, really it's something else to carry around, but this is sweet. I've been getting a few questions about my car. People have been messaging me, asking me about certain things on it, what I've done, what I haven't done. So, why not do what everyone else is doing and do a rig rundown on my car? Word of warning, I really don't know that much about cars, so some of the stuff might be a bit... Okay, so this is going to be like a super really quick rundown. ARB steel deluxe something or other bull bar with the Steady Type X Pro spotlights mounted to it. I've also got some smaller Steady lights on the sides of the car, which just kind of help do that with light. I've got a carbon 12,000 pound winch, which I have not used once, so... I've also got two aerials. So I've got one aerial for a GME UHF, but the aerial is not GME. The aerial is an RFI antenna. I don't know why. The second one is a Selfie Go booster repeater mobile phone thingamajiggity that gives me more phone reception, apparently. Okay, on the sides I have the ARB side rail, side step things that stop things hitting my car. I have a Safari R-Max snorkel. Like up here you can put beer and you can put a cheese platter and you could sit clear view side mirrors. This is literally the first upgrade I would ever do to a 200. They do pull out. ROH 17-inch Patriot, maybe? ROH rims, 17-inch rims. They're wider than the normal ones, and they also have a slightly larger offset than the standard 200 series tyres, so they kind of like make this come, it looks better. In underneath here, you're not going to be able to see any of it. ARB, Old Man Emu, BP51, remote reservoir bypass around things, shock absorber. It's meant to be a 2-inch lift all around. I think they do something different with the front compared to the back. Something about rake, I don't know. The car sits pretty good. It's probably a little bit too low at the front, but they're coilovers, so they can be wound up. Just over time, with adding 5,000 lights to the front of the bull, a winch that I'm never going to use, two stupid antennas, kind of has put the front down a bit, so I will get that done eventually. When you lift the front of these cars, because of the way the suspension is, you have to fix the caster camber, toe in, toe out, pinky thumb thing, whatever it's called. But you change the upper control arms. So I've gone for the road safe Blackhawk upper control arms on this. It just makes it so they can put the wheel alignment back into standard spec. It drives well. Okay, back here, a Razlar steel rear bar with the wheel carrier and a jerry can holder. It's a pain in the ass if I'm really honest, because you've always got to like unbolt the things to get into the back of the car, but it does lift your spare tyre up from underneath your car, and I don't think this tyre would have fit underneath the car. I should have said that. I run Mickey Thompson Baja ATZs 295 something 17s. They're not a good tyre, I wouldn't recommend them. Simple. And up here I have a 30-second rapid wing awning, which like folds out, and I really couldn't be bothered pulling it out now because I have other things to do, so I will put a photo in right now. So yeah, that's what it looks like. It's pretty handy if I'm honest. On the roof of the car I have a Rhino rack Pioneer platform. I don't know what size rack platform thing it is. It's the Workman one, so it's got like the sides on the side of the rack with the backbone system thing with the holes in it. As I said, I don't know. The light that's on the roof is a cheap Chinese light that I got from China, funnily enough. It has been a pretty good light, but I think that I'm probably going to switch it out for a steady light in the near future. Okay, let's talk about what's under the bonnet. It's got a PowerCurve Performance ECU remap in it. I used to have a Unichip on the car and we ripped that off and put a ECU tune from PowerCurve in there. The Unichip made more power and more torque. Only a little bit, although the ECU remap, the car drives completely differently. It's so much better, so that's been really, really good. It's also got a Redback dual 3-inch exhaust system through the car, so that's kind of the two things that affect power really, other than the snorkel. So the Safari R-Max snorkel, I think they claim it's like a 4-inch or a 5-inch tube all the way down. I don't know what. It's meant to allow more airflow. I don't know how much difference that actually makes. I've also got a dual battery system put in the car, so a Red Arc dual battery system. I'm running a Full River 105 amp hour AGM on this side of the car, and then my starter battery is over there. I've got a Harrop 4-way diff breather kit, so it does your front diff, rear diff, transfer case and gearbox. And then I had this ugly orange breather cable right next to it, which is actually the winch. So the winch has its own breather cable, which is pretty cool. We've got Coupletech rust control system, also a pre-fuel filter thing with a water bowl. When you're traveling, it's pretty cheap insurance. You don't know what kind of fuel you're going to get, if there's water in the fuel, if it's contaminated with a lot of crap in the fuel. That's just cheap insurance for me, to be honest. The only other thing that's just been done recently by the guys at PowerCurve again was they've put one of their automatic transmission cooler kits in it. So it's a new kit that they've come up with. I was actually looking around for a transmission cooling system just for when we're towing. When I spoke to the guys at PowerCurve, they said to me just hold off. They were working on a kit of their own for it to suit a 200 series. A month later, they've put the first kit into this car and we're kind of prototyping it on our trip that we're going on tomorrow. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. I'm really looking forward to that. in the car. So I have an iPad mounted here. It's just mounted to a RAM arm that's bolted back to this panel. I use that for my music, so it's got a SIM card in it. We use Apple Music, so we can play whatever music we want, but I also use it for the GPS. As you can see, the GPS standard in this Model 200 series sucks balls. Google Maps, Apple Maps, and I also have the HEMA app for when we're off-road. Down here is the ARB links system. So I've got the airbags in the back of the car just for when we're towing. Before, we used to have to put air in manually with a little pump. I looked at a couple of other systems, but I decided to get the ARB Link system, mainly because it's got presets. So we've got a preset in there for daily driving. I've got a preset in there for when we're towing the caravan. I've got a preset in there for when the car's just full and we've got full of fuel. We can carry about 180 litres of fuel in the car, so it all adds a bit of weight. The good thing about the presets is if I'm ever injured or for some reason I can't help and Kim needs to hook the caravan onto the car and drive it, she doesn't have to remember what pressure to pump the airbags up to. We just hit the preset in the link system and it pumps it up. To run all that air, there is an ARB twin compressor that's mounted on a custom mount in the back of the car. It's kind of in the back quarter panel. You can't see it, and in fact you can actually hardly hear it back there. We've got it in there with an air tank so that if we wanted to use any kind of air tools or air guns, like to blow air, you know, blow your air filters or anything out, we can do that too. So that's a really handy thing. Over here, UHF, pretty standard, Red Arc Tow Pro brake controller system. We have a Stockwell automatic transmission torque converter lockup kit. If you don't know what that is, don't ask me. All I know is it helps keep your gearbox temperatures down, especially when towing. So a little secret is that I actually blew the gearbox up in this car when we first got it. So that's why I'm a little bit paranoid about gearbox temperatures when I'm towing, etc. Drifter rear drawers, I don't have the wings on yet. These are only a second-hand set of drawers, so they came without the table when I bought them. Drifter are making me a table to suit this right now. They're a really good set of drawers. This drawer here is like packed to the hilt. Like, it is full of weight. It's got all my spare parts, everything in it, and it's still relatively easy to open and close. MSA drop-down fridge slide, it's fantastic. Road Chef oven here, which is probably my favorite thing in the car. We took like frozen pizza up on our last trip. It makes you hungry all day because all you can smell is pizza cooking. We can literally pull up 5 minutes, set up and be eating hot pizza, which is really, really cool. So over here on this side of the car, this is my like a dual battery monitor. It's a BM1. Cigarette points there. This switch here turns my camping light up there on. I've done a video of installing that light and why I did it, and I'll link that in the, I think that's the first time ever in a YouTube video that I'm going to say that I'm going to link something below. I'm going to link that clip that I made below. I have the projector 600 watt inverter in there. Otherwise, that's the back of the car. There's nothing really, really special. That's a bit of a look at my car. I love this car. This is the best four-wheel drive I've ever owned. Yes, it has problems. Yes, it annoys me at times, but I think that's what makes cars have a bit of a personality. If it was just perfect and there was nothing wrong, well, life would be boring and you wouldn't want to change anything or do anything. So I hope that answered some people's questions, and I hope that it doesn't actually make more questions for me to try and answer. But if you have any, send them through. I'll try my best to answer them. Just before I get into this is 100% my fault. I just had a phone call from Kim. It turns out that she already has dinner here, and I didn't know that. I now have to go and get some dinner, and because it's 7 PM and I'm too lazy to cook, I'm getting Chinese takeaway. Don't hate me, hate the Chinese store. I've got a theory I'm going to share right now. The sketchiest looking Chinese stores are normally the best. However, they do run the highest risk of food poisoning, so it's a risky game. I'm a young man, I like to take risks in my life. Chinese sketchiness is numero uno.
Fancy Garden, how may I help you?
Can I get a large fried rice, please?
About 5 minutes.
Awesome, thank you.
Can ride in your dreams while you were chasing everything else but me. I'm starting to break out from your grave. See, I finally opened up my eyes, and I saw me coming back to life. That
couple people that are going to understand what this is all about, but look what I got.